Doing? I'm here. I just got I got double espresso macchiato. That's the Montrose Hotel there. And this is a park in Beverly Hills, as you can see, and a lot of people having their breakfast over there. Okay, it's a great place. So I thought I'd come to you live from here. And let's wait and get some people in here, folks. I got some funny stories to tell you. Yeah. Let me take you for a walk around so you can see what people are doing on this overcast day that we have. Okay? Agent Orange, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for coming. Carol, thank you from New Jersey. Beautiful people from New Jersey. Folks, I got to tell you a story. You know, I go to the VA. I love going to the VA. And I talk to people, okay? I'm pretty outward, I guess, sometimes. But yesterday, I was on the elevator at the VA going down to, I had to get my hearing aids tuned up. But anyways, I'm going up the elevator. There were a husband and a wife that got on. And I looked at the husband, elderly guy, and I said, what years were you in? What years did you serve? And he says, 69 to 71. I said, you were after me. I was 63 to 66. I said, so I'm older than you. How old are you? I said. He said, 75. I said, I'm 80. Oh, he said, how's it feel to get 80? I said, oh my God. I said, let me tell you. Now, you got to remember, his wife's there. I said, once you turn 75, between 75 and 80, your sexual desire increase like crazy, and you want to have sex all the time, okay? And he said, are you serious? I go, yeah. I said, you watch, it's going to happen to you. I talked to a lot of friends my age, it happened to them. And his wife is standing there, are you serious? Her mouth was wide open. It was really funny. And so anyway, I wanted to share that there. And anyways, folks, you know, I got my information this morning from my friend Ticket. Okay, Ticket does, as far as people on YouTube, there's not many people that come here, tell you the truth and what's really going on. And he's got the facts and does his research. Sounds like me when I was younger, okay? And as an older man, okay, I only tell the truth and the facts. But anyways, he had the whole hearing. I listened to everything about what was going on with the hearing on the Diddy trial this morning. And folks, if you're not following Ticket, okay, all right, make sure you follow him, okay? Because he's very rare on YouTube where you get somebody like that that tells you the truth, all right? And most people can't take the truth. I say that all the time. But anyways, the prosecution and the defense did a lot of arguing. The defense, they submitted a 202-page letter, whatever you call it, to the courts, disputing everything, all right, about what Diddy did and how he did it. Oh, it was porn. If it was porn, he didn't have a license, folks, okay? So the judge turned down most of them, but he will make a decision on the other. He might do it today, might do it tomorrow, but he did tell everybody, I'll see you next week, October 3rd. So, based upon that alone, I'm going to say Diddy is not getting a new trial. which he does not deserve. And that's it. And yesterday, hey folks, I told you that the pre-sentencing report, which is very accurate, and the very investigative stuff that they do, and they're recommending 70 to 87 months. Okay? And thank you for all those folks coming from Ticket TV. I appreciate you. All right? Ticket told you all that I got, after this Diddy thing, I got so many stories to tell you. If you were there, you talked about the porn business. I'm going to tell you my involvement, things that I did in the porn business. Okay? Somebody talked about Deep Throat. Remember that movie? I never saw it. But it was my guy, Sonny Franchise, that was behind that one. Okay? Hey, that's the Montrose Hotel there, folks. Okay? One of the most expensive, exclusive hotels here in Beverly Hills. I went there and I was going to buy a double espresso macchiato. They came to $10.54. And they try to ring you up before they make it. I said, what? $10.54? I said, forget about it. I said, I could buy a pound of coffee for that. That's crazy. Okay? Prices are ridiculous. So I came over here on the other side, which is like a faster place anyways. Okay? Just like not far. Okay? And I got it for $5, which is still a lot of money. I mean, the prices are going crazy in the grocery store. And our gas out here in California is nuts. Folks, you're lucky. If you don't live in California, let me know. Hey, folks, you notice I don't have a moderator no more. Oh, my God. Thank you, Ia Johnson. I appreciate that so much. Ia Johnson, hit that thanks button. I love you, my dear. Okay? All right, people, there is a thanks button. If you want to support me, please do. I would deeply appreciate it. Okay? Because, folks, being a creator and giving fiato. Fiato from John DiMatteo. John was my partner. How do you know about that, no baloney? John was my partner. Yeah, you got it right. 70. John passed away. Oh, John was a nut job. He was a good guy. He was my partner. He made a lot of money with me. I brought him in on a lot of deals. John was originally from New Jersey. Oh, but I'm going to tell you the story with John DiMatteo. Okay? And how we made a score of over $300,000 that we chopped up. I'm going to tell you the story right now. Okay? It's when I took care of Bob Crow from the Trammell Crow Company. All right? Billionaires out of Texas, but Bob lived here in Los Angeles in Natalie Woods. He owned Natalie Woods' old home up on Beverly Drive. Boy, I love my espresso. And I took over being in charge of Bob. Bob was addicted to the pipe. And Bob took care of the underworld. He was a guy that could write prostitutes checks, and they would hold them. They would hold them until the money hit the bank. And sometimes they had to wait 3 to 6 months, but they did it. He owed Beverly Hills Madam $150,000. He owed Heidi Fleiss money. He would write a check to a prostitute for $5,000. The guy was nuts. I got in there. I had to negotiate a deal with his father over his interest in the Dallas Market Center. It took a couple months. Now, before I got there, when Bob sold out somebody else, we negotiated a deal. Okay, the day the money hit the bank, one time City National Bank, which is right over there, okay, they depleted the cash of the bank. So many people from the underground of Los Angeles went there, and they depleted the bank from its cash. So it was a crazy thing. Anyway, we ended up, after I made a settlement of $900 some odd thousand dollars plus $34,000 a month for Bob for 30 years on his interest in the Dallas Market Center. After taking out my commission, I split that with John, which I already told you how much that was. But folks, it took us several months with a lot of work like you wouldn't believe. All right? It was crazy. All right? I have one guy in the house 24 hours a day, my guy Bruce, and taking care of Bob. One time, I went up there and I punched in the numbers to the gate to get in, because it's a big gate. And when the gate opened up, there were like 10 cars in the driveway. All Crips. All Crips. And all had Uzis. I park my car, I go, Bruce opens up the door. He said the boss is upstairs with Bob. He wants to unalive Bob. I said, well, tell him to either do it or come down in the kitchen and talk with me. And this guy came down from the kitchen, came down in the kitchen, asked me who I was. I said, let me tell you something. I said, you want to go up there and unalive Bob with your weapon there. I says, you got two exits. You got to go down to Sunset Boulevard or go up to Mulholland Drive. How far do you think you're going to get before the police are swarming in on you? Okay? Are you crazy? I said, now listen to me. How much does he owe you? He said, $15,000. And I started laughing. $15,000. I said, I just settled with a guy in Israel. He owed 150 grand to him. Told the guy, when the money comes in, I'll pay him. And I said, you're the lowest amount. At 15,000, you're going through all this here? I said, listen to me. I said, if you're anybody at all, I said, here's my name. Here's my phone number. Check me out. You will see that I'm a man of my word. If I say something, it happens. And so he took my name and number, and that evening he called me up. He says, Ori, I checked you out. He says, you are a man of your word. Everybody told me you're a stand-up guy. Here's my number. When you get the money, call me. And that guy was one of the leaders of the Crips. He and I became very great friends, okay? So you never know how things are going to work out in life. But, you know, we ended up, when we chopped that money up, every time I made a score, the first thing I ever did was I would fly back east and take care of my children. So we were at my daughter's house in upstate New York. Gotta mind you, this is one day after John made $150,000 with me. He calls me up, he starts calling me names. It's all your fault if you didn't leave. John was a gambler. He lost the whole $150,000 in one day. I could tell you stories on and on. No two. You disrespectful. You don't know what a gangster is. Okay? You want to meet a real gangster? Come here. I'll, I am a real gangster. I never ratted. But anyways, why we pay attention to these folks? Folks, I'm going to be looking for moderators. I don't know if I need one because, YouTube really does a pretty good job of getting ready a lot of people. For a lot of you who have to read these idiots when they leave nasty messages, I apologize to you. Folks, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. All right, give me a like and comments, okay? Any questions, anything you want me to talk about, folks. I'm 80 years old. You're not going to be able. You're not going to be able to find anybody else with the wisdom on the streets, the people that I met, things that I done. Okay? I appreciate you folks for coming here today. All right? I always give you all my love and respect. Okay? Folks, a lot of people knew that I was a little bit upset with certain things. And, all right? And, I'm not leaving, folks, because I got a lot of wisdom that I want to share with you. And I hope that some of the things that I have to say, that I can help you, okay? I want to leave you with positive thoughts. I tell you every day, be kind to other people, okay? So anyways, going back to Diddy, you see that yesterday I went up to DVD's house. I did a short video and showed you where he lived, where they found the car, the Tesla, with that poor girl, Celeste. And hey, you sold for Pablo Escobar. Folks, I hung out with a lot of people in my life, okay? There's so many stories that I had that I don't tell, okay? And I'm going to be telling a lot of stories for people who are my members. I have a membership. You could join. It's only $4.99 a month. So I will be doing shows for only my members, giving you information that I never said in an interview, I never said it on any of my shows, and give you information. It will be exclusively only for members, and it will not be shown after the membership chat. So I want you to know that there, okay? So please do, all right? It's only $4.99, which is not a lot of money. So now, next week, October 3rd, big day for Diddy. I'm predicting he's going to get between 7 to 12 months. That's my prediction. I don't know what the judge is going to do. Nobody does. I had to laugh. I see people writing or doing YouTube shows that, inmates who wrote letters on Diddy's behalf. Folks, honestly, do you really think that the judge is going to pay any attention to the letters from other inmates saying they learned stuff from Diddy? You think for a moment? I met a lot of judges in my lifetime. I've been in front of several judges, all right? They're good. I met good judges. I met bad judges. But I never met a stupid judge. They are all very smart. There's my girl, Keisha. Hello, Keisha. Good morning, kid. How are you? So, it doesn't make a difference what political side that judge is on. They are all very intelligent. All right? So these inmates writing letters was a waste of time. And like I said on ticket, I guarantee you, the Diddy is having his people put money into the commissary. I'm perplexed about things, folks, because not one single word has anybody heard from Christina Coram. Oh man, yeah, Mio, yes, I was there. Yep. Yes, I was there, my friend. I know it very well. Okay, did you know Johnny Irish Matera, Red Krabby, who were drivers for Sonny in the 60s and 70s? You know what happened to Johnny Matera in Florida? I know the whole story on that. So, hey, the sun's finally coming out. I love the sun. Makes me happy. And I love it. Okay? You know what? There's some older pictures of me, folks, that I have I don't know how to post pictures when I'm here. Okay? I don't know how to do all that stuff. I'm not tech savvy at all. Okay? And maybe someday I might learn it. I need a new computer. That's what I need, so I can come to you live on my computer. And, computer I want's about $1,200. And folks, look at it. Okay? I'm 80 years old. In my heyday, I made money every single day when I was on the street. I never had a money problem. But, getting out of the life after prison. And, I came out of prison with $150. So thank God I'm a veteran. And I get Social Security. And so I'm able to pay my rent and a few bills, but I don't have all that extra money that a lot of people have. And that's the reason why I ask you folks, if you love what I say, help me out with some thanks. I deeply appreciate it. But if you don't have the money, I understand that too, because things are tough today. Okay? Thank you, Michelle. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to take a walk around Beverly Hills when I'm here. Okay? Yeah, all right. And I love Ticket, okay? He's a great guy. We're going to hook up someday. I can't wait to hook up with Ticket. Okay? He's a younger man. Very intelligent. Tells you the truth, like it or not. And he tells you the facts. And he's been right. He's been right. Oh boy, I got some pictures. Wayne, I got some pictures. All right, I know I posted them on Instagram and other places. I tried posting a picture one time in my shorts on YouTube. My son said, "Don't do that, Pops. Can't post pictures." No, I didn't. But as I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. You can see a lot of where I post just photos. Okay, and just see what I look like. I gotta admit, I was a good-looking kid. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you, folks. There's a lot of talk going on about this other rapper, DVD4 David, okay? And what's going on with this? Now, I can tell you one thing, the LAPD are very tight-lipped. Jackster Bowen, thank you. Came here because of ticket. I appreciate that. I appreciate all you folks who came here. Because Ticket did recommend me. Because Ticket knows I'm truthful, honest on what I say. So I consider Ticket a young version of Ori. Okay? You want to send, writing for you, you want to send $20 to get us to good caramel macchiato. Okay, buddy, let's do it. Okay? Yes. It would cost $20 for two here in Beverly Hills, that's for sure. Okay? But I've been in my apartment for so long. If I moved, the apartments are much higher. So I honestly got a good deal on my apartment that I have. Because I've been here for so long. All right? Thank you, Takaska Arnold. Thank you. All right? People say I must be a Democrat. Folks, no, I am no party affiliate. Not a Republican, not a Democrat, not an independent. I vote for who I think could do the best job. And you know what? In the last several elections, folks, I don't see anybody can do a good job. Okay? We're not given any choices when it comes to who you want for president to lead this country. And I got a lot of different thoughts. I don't like discussing politics, all right, or religion. They are subjects that should never be discussed. I learned that the first day when I joined the Army, okay? First thing they taught us, don't talk about religion or politics. And, you know, because they're both subjects you can't win from, you can't lose. Everybody's got their own mind. And, you know, I can get along with anybody. There's not a person I cannot get along with. And I wish everybody could be that way, folks. But unfortunately, we don't live in that world. Okay? That's long gone in the times that I live. Keisha, it's my girl Keisha Keller with a couple of dollars. Folks, let me tell you something. A couple of dollars, $50, anybody, anything you can do, you're helping me because I had a lot of research to do. It cost me money to get that research. And, you know, but I'm not going to beg you for money. I understand a lot of people hurting, okay? And times are very tough. I don't care what they tell you on national news. Toscana Arnold, $5. Thank you so much. And, you know, you listen to the news, which I stopped listening and haven't watched in 2 days. I am so much happier. I'm sleeping so much better. It's crazy. Why am I going to listen to these people on the news telling me things that I know the opposite about? All right, Suave, thank you so much. Why am I going to do that, folks? And I hope you're not doing that. I mean, we can't get the truth from anybody no more. Can't get from our government? Look at this Epstein thing. Okay? And I said before who I think and why Trump didn't do it. Why is it that we have all these people in the recording business? You got Diddy. You got this guy David now. It goes back, Clyde Davis. Okay? Go back to the Mendez's brother's father. He was with RCA. all right, what he did to his kids. Why is it in the music business with these very wealthy people that got to abuse children? Why? Is there something in the music business I'm not seeing? But folks, Diddy wasn't the first, and he won't be the last. This has been going on for the beginning of time. You know, I heard Cash Patel, the head of the FBI director, come on, oh, we arrested 200 of these petties. Yeah, they got the guy who's doing stuff on their computer, trying to bring in young kids. Yeah, that's what they're doing. But they haven't gone after one single name that's on that Epstein list, who are multi-billionaires, and they know who they are. Why aren't they doing that? You know why? Because those are the people. It's they're the 1% of the country or the world that you hear about all the time. The 1%. They're the ones that control our president, our U.S. House of Representatives. They are the ones who tell the president. You know, I laugh. People say, oh, Trump's a businessman. He's not a politician. Folks, unfortunately, yes, he is a businessman, but he is now a politician. It's all changed. I see things that other people don't see. All right? Folks, if you have not hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? Because you can't get this information anyplace else from anybody else. Because I perhaps am probably one of the oldest guys on YouTube or on social media. Thank you, BZ. I appreciate you. Folks, you ought to see the beautiful girl walking by here. You know, it's, I love getting out of the house, being active, okay, seeing people. I talk to people. I like to know where they're from, where they're visiting from, all right, when they here in Beverly Hills, because we get a lot of tourists from a lot of different places, a lot of young kids, okay, there's a young couple there. Look at the people, and everybody's taking pictures. It's what they do here, okay? So folks, that's it. What's going to happen to Diddy? We're going to find out next week. Politics is nothing but business. You know, the new American dream. Everybody thinks that we're such a free country. And anybody's got an opportunity. And you do. You got to work hard. You got to work every day. You got to be positive. It's hard work. Very hard work, folks. But you can do it. Another way to do it, and the easiest way, all right, BZ, there's a lot of information there of how you can give money. Okay, you're technically challenged and can't figure it out. But somebody, please tell BZ Outdoor how she can do it. Okay, I appreciate that. So I lost my train of thought now. What was I saying? Okay. I was saying the quickest way to become a multimillionaire in the United States today is become a politician. Whether it's state, whether it's local, or whether it's federal. Get involved in politics and you become an instant multimillionaire. Take a look at our people in the U.S. House of Congress, U.S. House of Representatives. Almost every single one is a multimillionaire. Yeah. Because they all take money from the lobbyists and vote the way the lobbyists want. They don't vote the way you want. They don't vote from what they told you when they ran for office. They vote for the people who give them big money. Folks, I don't have a Cash App, okay? I got Venmo and I got PayPal, okay? And it's all there in my profile. Venmo and PayPal, all right? Are two other ways that you could donate, okay? And I guess my son is being my moderator here today. So thank you, Anthony. Folks, if you haven't met my son, Anthony, I'm going to tell you, he's one of the most awesome guys anybody could meet. And, I tell you, he knows me better than anybody else. Hot Rod, $19.99. Hot Rod, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay? But folks, no matter where it's funny, my son moved here in 1999. All right, after college, he was in Florida. And I got to tell you, I walk around Los Angeles now, people know him better than me, okay? And everybody's got a good word to say about him. Not one person has anything to say. So I'm very, very proud of my children. You have no idea, okay? They are the only ones that really supported me when I was in prison. All right, so don't think about that, all that garbage about, the mafia and they take care of people in prison. Bullshit, okay? Don't happen, okay? Folks, you're so wonderful today, I don't want to leave you, okay? Thank you, Chrissy. I did 5 years in prison, 62 months, okay? So, folks, I know about sentencing. I know what could happen at sentencing because I signed a plea deal for 97 to 110 months. But when I went for sentencing, all right, the judge gave me 60 days on a robbery, which I signed for 37 months. But then he put his hands in front of him. He said, Mr. Spado, my hands are tied by Congress because the 924C gun charge is a minimum mandatory sentencing of 60 months. So your sentence is 60 months. And I talked about this 924C gun charge, and I cannot understand why. I don't know if Diddy got enhanced with it or what, okay? But he should have. That's a 5-year minimum mandatory. And folks, they never found a gun. Nobody saw a gun. Okay, I didn't have a gun. I got that charge because an informant said that he saw me give the gun to my co-defendant. when in fact I know he didn't. See, I had two guys come out. It was a setup robbery. They were in my apartment. And I know when I took my co-defendant in my bedroom, nobody else was there because the other guy was having a cigarette out on the patio. So, thank you, Papa. I am happy, folks. Every day that I get on this earth is a blessed day, and I'm very happy to be here. And so as long as I'm here, I'm going to give you folks my wisdom. I want to thank you all for coming here today. You had no idea, folks. I feel like you're all my family, okay? You are great people, and you're people who want the truth, who come to watch me. You like the truth. You like the facts. So I know that a lot of you folks are like Ticket. You gotta subscribe to Ticket if you're not. Boy, we got somebody from Indonesia. So folks, there's my PayPal there for people who are not tech savvy. It's very simple. Just hit that there button, okay? So it's all there, folks. This was a great morning. I didn't expect this here, okay? And the sun came out, and damn, it's lunchtime almost. Hey, Papa, you're 52 years old. You're a young man, Papa. Young man, okay? Oh my God, Pablo, I don't like these electric cars. You have no idea. It's like every car out here in California are Teslas. And folks, if you drive a Tesla, don't get offended. I find them to be the worst drivers. They think they own the roads. People pull in front of you, and okay? Yeah. Yeah, Chrissy, I do know people throughout the world. My life has been an amazing life. And, you know, sometimes when I think about my life, I go, how did I do all this? How in the world did I do all this and meet all the people that I met? And I'm going to be talking more about the people I met. How I met Frank Costello, Carlo Marcello, Meyer Lansky. How I met all the great bosses in the old days. How the mafia has changed. We don't have those kind of people no more. I'm one of the last around who never ratted. You know, folks, you're talking about electric cars. Have you heard of Waymo? Someday, I'm going to get in a Waymo, and I'm going to record it with all you folks there. Waymos, you ought to see how many are here in Los Angeles, and they're going big all over. No drivers. No drivers. All electronic. I'm going to tell you, they stop the stop sign. They're very good. You think they're better than any driver. All right? Yeah. I want you folks to take a look around again. All right, they got a lot of places here, all right, that we can sit out, and it's awesome here. I take a walk up here and get my exercise in, all right? Because I want to stick around till I'm 105 years old so I could be here. Okay, Queen, you're from Oakland. I used to live in San Francisco. I'll tell you the stories about what I did in San Francisco. And how the old timers called me in one day down on North Beach. And what happened and how it happened, okay? And how I got to control San Francisco in the days that I was there. Mike, I tell everyone, I'm 80 years old. Actually, I'm going to be 81 in a few months. Can't believe it. 81, December. I will be 81. All right? You want a racetrack, 70s, 80s. Oh, folks, I got so much stories about racetracks, about Las Vegas. And I used to go to Las Vegas when Las Vegas was good. It was ran properly, okay, when the Italians ran that town, okay. I never paid for nothing. Never had to pay for a hotel, a meal, a show, or anything, okay. I'm going to talk about Jimmy Hoffa, Matt Smith, because a message was passed from a particular family in New York to the head of the family in Detroit. You got to understand how back in the day that we passed messages, and the messenger did not even know what the message meant, but the bosses did. I'm going to be talking about that in other shows. So, folks, listen. Okay, it's almost noontime. I don't know. I can tell you one thing that happens when you get older. You don't be as hungry as you used to be. You know, Russell Buffalino was a good friend of mine. Okay, and I'll tell you about Russell Buffalino. Yeah, I was with Russell. I got stories about him. So, folks, subscribe so you can hear all my stories, okay? And, Chrissy, you're correct. Thank God I got my mobility. I look around, I see people younger than me, they could barely walk, okay? And, you know, so, folks, I love you all. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. All my love and respect to each and every one of you. I love you. Don't forget that. Thank you very much for coming. Everybody have a great day. Tomorrow I have something new for you.